Good morning, social friends. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're telling stories. Today, I'm going to tell you a story. No, today we're reflecting on buying a big car, the purchase of a car. I know that things have changed a bit today, right? When I was young, I was born in 82. I'm 42 years old. When I was young, having a car was a status symbol. So you had to have a nice car that already placed you in a certain category, right? To go out with girls, to pick up girls, you had to have a car, especially since you had to go pick her up yourself. There was no see you there. You would go pick up the girl with the car. And if you didn't have a car, or if the car wasn't up to par, your status wasn't the same. You understand, right? If you had a nice car, you were already positioned much more advanced than your competitors, let's say the other guys. The car was a status. Today, I know it's not like that anymore. I see that young people aren't as interested as they used to be. But my point isn't about how to pick up girls. I'm making a point, especially for the young ones, about how to position themselves economically. Because when you're young, you don't think about it. You rightly focus on having fun. However, being forward-thinking can be very important. Here we chat like friends at the bar, or rather like a taxi driver, since I am a taxi driver. We have friendly conversations. Because when you're young, you don't think about it. You rightly focus on having fun. However, having foresight can be very important. Here, we chat like friends at the bar, or rather like a taxi driver, since I am a taxi driver. We have friendly conversations. Let me tell you my story, what it has been for me. It can be a point of reflection. You choose. When I was young, I never, ever wanted to buy a new car, a nice car, a brand new car. Why? Because am I stupid? Maybe yes. I might be stupid, but it was a choice. Buying a new car back then, but even today, actually maybe even more today, was a significant expense. A significant expense. Today, a reasonably acceptable car costs around 25,000 to 30,000 euros. Today, it costs about that much. You understand well that spending 25,000 to 30,000 euros is a significant expense. It's a significant expense. That's fine. You get a loan. You don't pay it all at once. You pay it off gradually. Anyway, it's an expense. And anyway, on top of that, you have to maintain the car. And the higher the level of the car, the more it costs to maintain it. From gas to insurance to taxes, everything you have to pay for, maintenance, which people often overlook, all the things needed to keep a car running. What did I do? That money I had saved up, those 15,000 to 20,000 euros I had set aside from working when I was young. Today it's harder to save that money. Instead of buying myself a car, what did I do? Guess what I did? I bought a house. Then everyone is free to use them as they prefer. But I had a car. I had bought a car for 2,000 euros, just a little thing, right? I have had several used cars. The main thing is that it worked, because you need the car anyway. The important thing was that it worked, that it was acceptable. I spent the least amount possible. I had a car. I wasn't walking anywhere, because walking wouldn't get me anywhere. I needed the car. I had the car, but I used that money to buy a house. Not only did I buy a house, but I bought a bigger house than what I could afford. How is it? I bought a bigger house than I could afford because in my mind, I already had a business idea, a plan for the future. What did I do? I was alone, obviously. It's not like I had wives, girlfriends in the sense of going around, more girlfriends, let's say. I got an apartment with 3 rooms, plus a kitchen and a bathroom. The living room, which used to be the sitting room, I turned it into my bedroom, which was the biggest room. I took out the living room. I made a proper room, which was my room, and it was the biggest one. I rented out the other 2 rooms. I rented them out to 2 girls. I also tried doing a B&B. It was too much hassle. Then I had 2 steady girlfriends. They changed a bit over the years. At first they were friends I knew, then I changed them up. That house for me was costing 0, because with the rent the girls were paying me, I was covering the mortgage and still had the house for myself. In the meantime, I've almost finished paying off this house, and I find myself with an apartment. There are still 13 years left to pay. We took out a 25-year mortgage, so there will be about 12, 13 years left, maybe even less. Once it's paid off, I'll have an apartment. Those 20,000 euros, 15, 20,000 euros that someone else might have spent on a car, which today would be worthless, because cars lose value right away. I made that money work for me. I turned it into an apartment, which, by the way, is worth even more today, because apartments increase in value, especially during this time in Milan. And this is the reflection I want to share with you. Today, things are certainly different. For goodness sake. The car, I said the car. But it can be many things, right? When you're young, you might waste money on a lot of things. I'm the first to say, enjoy every day like it's your last. In fact, I'll make a video every day like it's the last one, because you have to enjoy it, especially when you're young. They won't give your youth back to you, but do it wisely. Don't throw your money away on something very temporary without creating anything for the future, because you might need them later. I also know some friends who have done other things with their money, right? Maybe they opened businesses. Maybe they made other types of investments. I'm not here to give investment advice because I already made a video yesterday about a small thing like ISP, etc. But I'm not a financial advisor. But when you're young, instead of buying a new car, sure, you want to show off. You go there with the plane. Look at that car over there. Oh, there's a big fancy one. But then you show it off for 2 or 3 years because then the car also becomes old. What do? Think about it. Think about it carefully. Because it makes a big difference, guys. And it makes a huge difference to have an apartment or to have nothing at all. They balanced. Yeah, those 200,000 euros. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, let me know. But today, if I had spent those 20,000 on a car, I would have 200,000 euros less. More or less, that's what the house will be worth. A little more, but you definitely need to have the money to pay for it. Use a broker. That's a whole different story that I don't want to get into. Guys, no, but I get the car through financing while they won't give me the house. I need a guarantor. That's a whole different story. A whole different story. That's a whole different story that I don't want to get into. I'm giving you something to think about. You don't need to make excuses for me not to do it. I've already done it. So you don't have to tell me no, but you shouldn't. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. We probably don't even know each other. You're watching the video, and I probably don't even know who you are. You don't need to make excuses with me. Think about it in your head and do what's best for you. For those who want to talk to me, there's the Telegram channel in the description. Free until the end of January. Whoever wants to can find me there. Hello, everyone.